Tonight, before you fall asleep,
Imagine this. A lonely lighthouse stands on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, but this lighthouse doesn't guide ships. It guides lost dreams. And every night at exactly 2:17 a.m., a mysterious light appears in the sky, calling only one person by name. Tonight, it calls yours. So close your eyes, take a slow breath, and let the waves carry you far away from stress and noise, to a place where the stars still whisper secrets. The town of Blackwater Cove sat quietly along the coast of Maine, filled with small wooden homes, fishing boats, and evening fog drifting through the streets like silver smoke. At the edge of town stood an ancient lighthouse called the Sleeping Light, abandoned for decades, yet every night people claimed they saw a faint glow at the top. Ethan Carter, a 28-year-old illustrator who lived alone near the sea, never believed those stories. Most nights he sat beside his window, sketching stars and oceans while jazz music played softly in the background, though deep inside he always felt like he was waiting for something he couldn't explain. One stormy October night, the town suddenly lost power. Streetlights disappeared into darkness, thunder shook the coastline, and when Ethan looked outside, he saw the impossible, the lighthouse glowing brightly across the cliffs. Then the beam stopped directly on his apartment window, filling the room with warm golden light. A whisper floated through the air. "Come find me." Something inside him pulled him forward. He grabbed his coat and walked through the empty rainy streets toward the cliffs, while waves crashed below. The closer he got to the lighthouse, the warmer the air became. At the giant wooden door, it slowly opened by itself. Inside, the air smelled of salt water and vanilla candles. A spiral staircase stretched upward, while soft humming echoed from above. Ethan climbed slowly until he reached the top room, glowing with floating golden lights like tiny stars. Standing beside the window was a mysterious woman with silver clothing, dark flowing hair, and eyes that looked like entire galaxies. "You finally came," she said softly. Her name was Celeste. She explained that the lighthouse did not fully belong to this world. Around them, floating lights, transformed into spinning constellations and galaxies. She told Ethan there were places between dreams and reality, and some souls were able to hear them calling. Ethan realized the strange dreams he'd carried since childhood had always been leading him here. Celeste showed him impossible worlds hidden beyond the stars, rivers of light crossing the universe, and doors connecting dreams from one reality to another. She explained that the lighthouse was a bridge for lonely hearts, but now the light was dying because people on Earth had forgotten how to dream. The room faded away, and suddenly Ethan stood beneath an endless sky filled with stars, while thousands of human whispers surrounded him. Hopes, fears, prayers, lonely thoughts, and forgotten dreams. A child wishing to fly, someone praying for peace, another person hoping tomorrow would hurt less. Celeste whispered, "The lighthouse hears them all." Ethan understood then that the lighthouse was powered not by electricity, but by hope, kindness, wonder, and imagination. When people stopped believing, the light faded. Back inside the lighthouse, Celeste began disappearing into golden light. Before leaving, she handed Ethan a strange golden compass filled with moving stars. "When people lose their way," she whispered, "help them remember wonder." Then she vanished completely, leaving Ethan alone beside the quiet ocean. After that night, Ethan changed. He began creating art filled with stars, dreams, and peaceful worlds, and people everywhere connected deeply with it. Strangers wrote to him, saying his art helped them sleep and feel calm again. He never told anyone about the lighthouse, but every night at exactly 2:17 a.m., the golden compass beside his bed glowed softly, and far beyond the cliffs, the lighthouse beam slowly turned across the sea once more. Years later, visitors came to Blackwater Cove claiming they slept better there, dreamed more vividly there, and sometimes saw mysterious floating lights near the cliffs at night. Ethan always smiled quietly because he knew the truth. The lighthouse still lived, and as long as people continued dreaming, it always would. Now the waves
On
roll
a freezing
gently
winter
beneath
night
the
somewhere
stars.
deep in the Colorado
night air
Rockies,
feels
a
cool and
burned-out
calm,
businessman named Daniel
somewhere
Mercer
far
accidentally
away,
boards a
a
mysterious
golden light
vintage
turns
train
slowly across the
known
ocean,
as the Moonlight Valley Line,
watching,
a
guiding,
forgotten railway
waiting.
that never appears on
Maybe
maps
tonight,
and is whispered about
if you listen
only
carefully,
in old American
you'll
mythic
hear the
tales.
whisper too.
After spending
Come find
nearly
me.
20 years trapped
And now
inside
your breathing
the
grows
exhausting
slower.
rhythm of
Your body
Chicago's
feels
corporate
warm
life,
and heavy.
endless meetings,
The ocean
glowing
sounds
office hours,
softer. The
sleepless
stars
nights,
dim
fast food
peacefully
dinners,
above you,
and a life
and sleep
ruled by
slowly
schedule
carries you
instead of
away
happiness.
into a calm and
Daniel
beautiful
finds
dream.
himself emotionally empty and desperate to escape the noise of modern life. But as the silver train slowly glides through snow-covered pine forests, frozen lakes reflecting moonlight, quiet mountain valleys, and breathtaking skies filled with stars and northern lights, something inside him begins to change. Inside the warm, glowing train cabins filled with soft jazz music, steaming coffee, golden lantern light, and peaceful strangers carrying their own hidden sadness, Daniel experiences a kind of calm he hasn't felt since childhood. Along the journey, mysterious passengers quietly share wisdom about life, loneliness, regret, and the importance of slowing down before time slips away completely. As the train moves deeper into the magical Moonlight Valley, where tiny wooden cabins glow warmly beneath snowy mountains, and the world feels untouched by stress, technology, or time itself, Daniel slowly realizes that the train only appears for people who have forgotten how to truly live. Through long conversations, silent snowy landscapes, and the peaceful rhythm of the rails beneath the stars, he begins letting go of years of pressure, guilt, and emotional exhaustion that followed him across America's busy cities. And when the train finally disappears at sunrise beyond the mountains, leaving him standing alone in a quiet winter valley holding only an old silver compass and a peaceful heart, Daniel understands that happiness was never hidden inside promotions, expensive apartments, or crowded streets. It was always waiting in the quiet moments he stopped noticing long ago. Snowfall outside a warm window, music drifting through the night, coffee shared with strangers, and the simple beauty of being fully alive beneath the endless American sky. After years of exhausting corporate life in downtown Chicago, a lonely businessman named Daniel boards a mysterious late-night train hidden deep in the snowy Colorado Rockies, a forgotten railway called the Moonlight Valley Line that only appears for people emotionally lost in life. As the beautiful vintage train travels through silent pine forests, frozen lakes reflecting endless stars, glowing mountain towns, and valleys beneath the northern lights, Daniel slowly reconnects with the peace he lost while chasing money, deadlines, and success in modern American life. Along the journey, he meets calm strangers, drinks warm coffee beside glowing train windows, listens to soft jazz music echoing through vintage cabins, and begins realizing that happiness was never hidden inside busy cities or expensive achievements, but inside the quiet moments he stopped noticing long ago. By the time the train disappears with the sunrise beyond the Rocky Mountains, Daniel understands that the journey was not about reaching a destination. It was about finding himself again beneath the stars,